Previously on Dive Log.
Today we're going to talk about tech diving. I would like to introduce you guys to Sean.
Sean,
Hi everyone, I'm Sean and I'm from Kuala Lumpur. Thanks guys for having me on the podcast.
going into tech diving, one must be very comfortable underwater. Good watermanship is a must. Very familiar with your dive equipment and also the mindset.
My line got snagged onto my manifold. I shot up. Thank God it was a 29. If I was in 30 meters, that would be a problem. Hello guys, before we continue with our conversation with Sean about technical diving, I would like to take this opportunity to wish our Muslim viewer Selamat Hari Raya Eid Mubarak. I hope you guys drive safe and also have an awesome celebration. And also, I would like to inform you that I will be attending the Asian Dive Expo ADEX 2025 at Suntec City, Singapore. Please do come say hi and let's have conversation about scuba diving. Now, back to our regular program, and I hope you guys will enjoy this episode. Any other questions so far, Sean, regarding these few topics?
Going on a trip, deciding like what type of trip you want to go on. When you have like different buddies, like deciding who's going on the trip. At the tech level, there's less people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I started tech diving, it was really, really difficult to find tech dive buddies because of that experience and people like us, people like our colleagues and so on, other divers, other tech divers as well. What they do is they try to now create a group or collect tech divers in their database and so on. You know, when there's a trip, they plan a trip together and they try to get a number of tech divers to want to go and then they go on a trip, right? But back in the days, even to go tech diving to Tioman was difficult. It was difficult.
Yeah, I think like the thing that in March when I was at Tioman also is like I met a group of 3 people from Singapore. They came there actually to do like the tech 40, 45 and 50 one shot. Just so happened that they were having dinner. I just joined them for dinner. I was like, oh, it's like so nice. It's like you have like a whole bunch of buddies who like doing the same course, and then after that you guys can like start planning like tech trips together with a consistent buddy. Then it's like not so difficult to like figure out okay who's gonna be like your buddy or who you're gonna be.
Do you have anyone right now that is going to go with you to do any tech courses at the moment?
Not the moment. Open water. It was like 8 of us. Then after that, like hooked on diving, so I convinced my girlfriend let's do advanced. So then both of us are advanced now. For her, she's definitely like wants to stay recreational, and like to be fair, I'm very happy about it. It's like, you know, because everyone has their own level that they're comfortable with, and for her it's just kind of like a hobby. Technical diving is not like you just come along, we just do a course, right?
Yeah.
Not much of my like friends or people I know are first of all avid divers, so I don't think any of them that I know are anywhere close to even like considering going into tech diving yet.
Maybe when you start your technical course, right, try to talk to your instructor to get you to join one of his or her classes. When you go for the course, it's not you alone. Then you'll meet other course mates that you can actually dive with in the future, right? I think it's better to have at least another person when it comes to tech courses.
Well, the thing is with tech course though, the ratio is very small. Even if they are really, experienced instructor, veteran experienced instructor, they will do
3.
2, maximum 3.
Yeah.
But very rare that they will do 3 though. I may be wrong, but I think in Malaysia itself to be in a tech course not as easy as if you were to be in overseas. There's only so many tech courses run in a year. That's simply because of not many candidates.
When it comes to courses, right, it's better to have a teammate rather than doing it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, some people think one-on-one is good. To be frank with you, it's a bit difficult. You need someone to pair with you in order to run drills and stuff. The instructor will observe what you guys are doing. So it's better to do it with someone else. Technical diving is a team sport. It's not something that you do alone. We are trained to be independent. We are trained to start and finish the dive alone, but it's very much a team sport.
Yeah.
So if you do not have a buddy, right, kind of difficult for the instructor to teach you all the team stuff, the dynamics of the team and this. So it's definitely a plus to have a teammate with you, especially when it comes to cave diving, wreck diving. So you know what to do in a situation, the team position and this and that. a lot of things. So yeah, get a teammate. There is one way of you to finding people that you can dive with, or you can create another tech diver. Try to convince people to get into technical diving. See if there's anyone who is willing to do the same course with you. I mean, I won't say willing lah. It's just coincidence that that person wants to do that tech course, and then you
Someone
want to
who's
do that tech
serious
course.
about doing tech diving as
Yeah.
well, who has the same interest.
Then both of you should actually consider doing it together. Tech divers are pretty rare. I wouldn't say like unicorn, but very rare.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, so you need to be flexible when it comes to going diving, tech diving with people. Some tech divers are very particular. They only want to dive with this group. They only want to dive with that group. If you are someone new or someone different from their group, they will not dive with you because there's a lot of risks involved, different procedures, different organization, a lot of things, right? People will come up with. Eventually, you need to find yourself in a group of people that you want to dive with. But to look for that group takes a bit of effort.
But that's not us.
I mean, fortunately,
We are open.
yeah, we are definitely open. But then again, sometimes like even me and Dicky, we dive together, but we don't always dive together. Because he has his thing going on, I have my thing going on also. Sometimes we have to be prepared to be going on a trip on our own as well. So it's not something that is definite that when I go cave diving, have to be with Dicky. Another thing that you can think about is to go to places where there are a lot of tech divers, dive shows. Tech divers like to go for dive talks, especially when it comes to those technical forums. They will flock there. Because we are so into this discipline, right? Any chance we get to submerge ourselves in tech diving, we will go. So that's where you get to meet a lot of the tech diving people. I mean, you need to be open. You need to talk to people. Maybe you can even start with the speakers themselves. They are probably more easily approachable. They're already on stage, right? Ask them questions after their presentation session. Go and talk to them. Maybe they have a course that you can actually take with them. And of course, you just need to go out and meet more people. Dive everywhere you want. Dive everywhere that you can. And if you happens to see another tech divers, right, talk to him or her.
If I didn't go to the expo, I wouldn't have met like you in the first place. So actually, it really does make sense.
Speaking of exhibition, there's one exhibition that I've been wanting to go to, and I think is really solid exhibition, which is called the OSTEC. There's one in Australia. So tech conference or tech exhibition, there's only a handful of locations. I think Poland or Croatia, there's one. In Russia, there's one.
Baltic.
Germany.
Baltic Tech.
Baltic and
OSTEC.
Aussie. So OSTEC. So I think the nearest for us in this region will be in OSTEC.
Actually, ADEX has a big tech community as well. Lately, they have been having, usually they have tech talks in ADEX. Have you been to ADEX? Maybe you should go to Singapore once. That one is nearest to us. It's just a bridge away, right? Maybe this year, I think it's on it's April.
Yeah, this year, unfortunately, the schedule I saw, I'll be like on a trip somewhere. So it's a bit of a shame,
Was it first week of April, right?
Yeah,
Something
first
like
week of April.
I think so.
Which is why I saw the ADEX trip, like ADEX dates, and I saw my trip there. I'm like, this like clash.
Singapore has quite a number of tech divers compared to Malaysia, actually. Singapore, even though such a small country, they have a lot more, I think, tech divers than Malaysia.
I saw a lot of forums there. There's just a lot of like tech diving community.
I've been to a few ADEX tech forums. They're pretty good. Then a lot of people from overseas actually come to speak about
present
tech diving.
Topic.
Another thing is approach the tech dive centers in your area to see which one works for you. Most tech centers are associated with the organization. Am I right to say that?
Most tech organization.
Tech center from this organization or this tech center from that organization.
Yes.
One thing is depends on which association you are certified. Me and Dicky, we are like mix and match. We have a lot of association different, so we can actually mix well. Some people just want to go for one association. So maybe it's good for you to, go to that dive center. You still can but maybe the first few trips they will side-eye you for a bit but once you are okay with them, they know that you are a solid tech diver, you'll be fine.
Okay.
The ice-breaking part is a bit difficult. They say that, we do things differently, we use long hose, this one don't use long hose, and things like that. Ultimately, we just want to dive and have fun, and everyone just want to dive with everyone, but don't let anything stop you. But yeah, there's a bit of politics going on there when it comes to tech diving. That's the thing that I don't like about. People have different groups and camps and stuff.
Yeah, but those are the things that you cannot avoid. That's why me and Adam, we really open our doors to anybody. We are very open. We just want to mix with other tech divers, with other divers,
You never know, right? You might learn a thing or two from them.
Yeah.
They might learn a thing or two from you.
Yeah, whoever is free or whoever is interested, then come and see us and meet us and dive with us once or twice maybe. You don't know, you might like it.
Nowadays, online makes things a lot simpler. Just contact people online,
Yeah.
I constantly message tech divers from different part of the world, ask them questions. You can connect with people easily. Facebook, I think, is a good way to connect to tech divers. Yeah, but then again, even though the world is so big, right, the tech community is very small.
Very, very
Everyone,
small, yeah.
even though different countries, right, everyone knows everyone. Oh, this instructor, that instructor, everyone knows everyone. You have to Tinder yourself online as a tech diver to look for buddies to dive. I get to know a lot of tech divers through online also. Like some people I have not dived with. Recently, I went for cave diving. I've not met these two guys before, but I bumped into them while they were doing diving.
And they are
Then I just went
Malaysian.
over and then I say hi and this and that, Even though we have not met, but online we have interacted. Cannot be shy. Recreational diver is easier to find, but tech diver is like unicorn. If you find one, you need to talk to
Yeah,
them.
well, then why do you think I reached out to you?
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I mean, like you say, like find your dive center, right? Where you either you do the training there, maybe we did training somewhere else, and then you go there and you ask, can I like use a twin set, that sort of thing? Like, how should we go about it? If I just got certified.
Well, for us here, despite how long cave diving have been in Malaysia, it is still baby. I don't know if it's wrong for me to say
baby,
this.
more like fetus, bro.
It almost like it has never grown. Unlike our neighboring countries, they went all out and it became very mature. There are facilities where you can go. The best part about dive operation in Malaysia, you can try, and there are always someone there to help you with whatever that you want to try with. And for example, here in KL, we have a swimming pool that has got twin sets and side mount sets configuration ready, so you can go there and then just say, hey, I want to give it a try just to know if diving a twin set is for me, then if you can help me out with this. So then, you can just go on with that. But picking the right dive center means picking the right instructor first. So knowing the instructor, trying to find the background of that instructor, how long has he or she been doing tech diving and teaching and so on.
Picking the right dive center, to me, what I mean is like a place that you can go easily, comfortably to do your training dives. Somewhere that you and the dive center feel comfortable about you being there. Doing your training. Once you step in to become a tech diver, right, you won't hear the word fun dive very often anymore. A lot of the times we are actually in the water doing stuff, whether it's training, setting up gear, getting familiarized with the gear, this and that. So you want to go to a dive center that can cater for what you need. Go there, do your own stuff without them disturbing you. And of course, you need to get to know them well. They need to get to know you well. Go there, take the twin tank straight away, go into the water and do training without any problems or, like for instance, what Dicky said at the swimming pool, go there, swimming pool, get the twin set, get down into the water, train. That's what I mean by finding your dive center. You will find that a lot of the tech divers, right, they usually go back to the same place to train or the same dive centers because they have the facilities. Because not a lot of dive centers have facilities for tech diving. So you need to find that one particular dive center, whether it's in KL or is another place, you know which one to go to. What I mean is don't keep changing.
Yeah, I think for actually that's why I quite like Tioman. It's quite close for us. It's a 4-hour drive. Like I picked E&J to do like advanced and all that stuff because I knew that they had tech equipment or whatever, they have it there. Been there before a few times already. Sort of know a few people like you guys, for example. And just wondering like if I just want to like grab a twin set at some point. I mean after like getting certified, like and just using that to like do like either valve drills or whatever practice you need to do. You just pretty much build a relationship and then go there and do that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, cool, yeah.
After being certified, you need to look ahead. Your next dive course, where are you heading to? Since you have already told us that your goal is cave and rec at the same time.
Well, not at the same time. I probably...
Let's break it down. Okay, before you start your tech course, you're probably going to do side mount first, right? Or not going to do side mount first?
I think I'll probably do back mount first.
So basically, you're going to start with twin set first.
And then, because I think there's recreational side mount and then there's tech side mount. To do tech side mount, do you have to have any other like tech certification first?
No, you can do it once, but I won't recommend it.
I see, okay.
Because in the tech side mount syllabus, right, depends on the agency, there are some technical terms that you might not know when you're doing it. there are some procedures that you're probably not familiar with. So maybe get tech certified first, then only continue with tech side mount. That would be ideal. But of course, you can if you want to, but it's gonna be a bit of a mess into your brain because you don't know certain stuff you are doing tech side. Tech side mount does not teach you technical diving. It teaches you how to use side mount in technical terms only. It's not a decompression course. You're not allowed to do decompression.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like doing like the twin set first, then only do tech side mount after that. So instead of doing rec side mount and then converting it into tech, because you can do that also, right? I think I'll do tech first, then side mount after that.
So in technical diving, right, usually people will go to two routes, either cave or wreck. So you need to know which way are you heading first. Although similar but not really. You need to find place and people that you can practice skills with even before you get into the course itself. Stuff like laying lines. That is one thing that you need to do even in cave or in wreck. You definitely need to lay lines. So you need to find the equipments and the buddies that will do it with you. Preferably a person that is already cave or wreck certified that will be there for you to teach you how to do it. Because during your course, right, the instructors are not there to teach you how to dive or to teach you how to use the equipment. They are solely there to teach you how to navigate, how to
meet the objective.
It's not a course where you mimic them. They're not going to show you everything. Even beforehand, when you get into the course, you should know what you need to do already. So which is why you need to practice it before you get to the course. That's why you need to look for a buddy that is good in cave or good in wreck that will show you the way of doing things. Then you need to practice it. So which is why it's very important in tech diving that you know your next direction. You cannot go blindly just to practice stuff. You need to know what to do.
I would probably look at doing wreck first. Yeah, because I've got that Truck Lagoon thing that I would want to do within the next few years. I want to get trained first, get to a level that I'm happy to be able to dive safely and confidently at.
We'll be happy to introduce you to Megan. She's at Subic Bay doing her wreck course now. So maybe both of you can dive together, or maybe she can give you some pointers in regardings to wreck diving.
Yeah, that'd be cool, yeah.
What made you decide to do cave as opposed to wreck?
As I was saying earlier, I'm not really into
the history of wrecks and ships and so on.
How to say, I cannot really relate to wrecks to begin with. It's not because it's eerie. It's not because it's... I feel like maybe I'm more like a nature guy rather than an artificial side kind of person. A lot of the wrecks are, when it's underwater, it's all the same. It's either big or small, metal or wooden. I can say about cave as well, right? It's just wet rocks. I'm more interested in the formation of the caves. Also the history behind the caves. When I was young, I was also actually intrigued by cave. Even before cave diving, I like being in caves and, stuff like that.
I think the first time we went to KMC Padang and like there's all the swim throughs and then you can kind of go a little bit into like because it's already sanitized, right? There's like the hull you can go inside and see with a little bit of overhead environment. It's quite fun. It's like instead of just being open water and just seeing corals and stuff, there's stuff to like you have to like be careful to go
almost
through.
like going in a maze like that.
Yeah. So that stuff is like really fun. So I think for both cave and wreck, that's part of the things you do. It's just that the different environment.
I like wrecks, I like ships, I like caves as well. But the thing is, for me, back then, I believe that it's easier and cave is more accessible than going to wrecks. Yes, we have got a lot of World War wrecks, but how accessible it is. And if I were to do wreck course, how many times can I dive in a wreck? If I were to go into the same wreck, how many times can I go in until I get bored? Like in cave, we have dive caves, and when we did our training, the same caves we dive a couple of times in the same dive, but it never gets bored. There's always something that we
and there are different
appreciate.
Types of caves, as we all find out right now. There are different types of cave formations, colors, everything different.
So I think I may be wrong, but this is just my assumption that doing caves in our region, doing caves would be more beneficial than doing wreck, simply because you have got more caves to explore.
Actually, I didn't think about that. I just have the idea that there's quite a lot of wrecks around here, but I know Thailand and Indonesia has a lot of caves. I just wasn't on the front of mind of like how many there are that we can actually...
Well, sadly speaking, most of the proper wrecks in Peninsular Malaysia are pretty much gone.
Like they have been
they have been salvaged
right?
by illegal salvages. Even in the coming years, you see less and less of them.
Mm.
It's likely that you need to fly somewhere else to do it. So in our region, the famous one will be in the Philippines.
Mm.
Subic Bay is one of them. Coron is another one. Basically the Philippines. When it comes to cave, it's going to be Indonesia.
Thailand,
Thailand has some.
Australia.
Yes, and Australia. If you get Truck Lagoon, then wreck diving is awesome. But that one is far away and a lot of money is involved, bro.
That's true.
Truck Lagoon is crazy. It sounds more like an expedition to me rather than a trip, a dive trip when you go to Truck Lagoon.
That's true. It'll be sort of like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. If I was gonna do it, I want to do it like properly and is ideally experienced as like technical as a technical diver.
Not to discourage you or anything, but then I think if you have that intention, maybe it would be best that you start with cave first, maybe, and have all that experience being in overhead environment, and then after that you just switch into doing rec. Once you are in overhead environment training, you're already familiarized with the claustrophobic area and that kind of stuff.
This is a very big topic by itself. We need to sit down some cave divers and some wreck divers, and then we need to fight it out, see which one is more dangerous, which one is cheaper, things like that. Because there are always, two sides of things, right? If I have a chance to dive a wreck, I will dive a wreck. Between wreck and cave, I will choose cave any day.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I mean, look at Repulse or Prince of Wales. We had access to it since many years now. We have dived those wrecks since they were, I would say, intact until now that they have been salvaged, right? How many times did it occur to us to penetrate the wreck? Never. How many instances where is it possible to penetrate that wreck? I don't think we had that chance, because it's just a different planning and that kind of stuff, and not many people can do it as well at that particular depth and so on and so forth. So
that would need to be in Subic and Coron. I heard good things about Coron, especially.
I think also I haven't done either of those, right? Cave diving or wreck, although I really would love to do both. As I get to that point, I probably would discover whether I actually prefer cave diving or prefer wreck, because right now I just have the idea in my head, but until I actually go there and try it, I probably wouldn't know which one I prefer until I try it. I think it also depends on if I was going to do a cave or do a wreck course, I would probably have to have someone, like you mentioned before, someone who is either doing wreck diving or cave diving to go with. Because not to say that I won't do it, because I still probably would, but it would definitely be more fun if there's people who are also enjoying that sort of thing, and then you get to do it with them.
One advice that I can definitely give you in regards to tech diving: make sure you pick the right instructor. That is very, very important. That will determine the path that you're going to go. Not the association, not the cost, but the instructor. Make sure you pick a good instructor. Someone that will motivate you become a better diver. Someone that will teach you unconditionally and will pass down
good knowledge,
all the knowledge
good experience,
that you can absorb.
Okay, yeah. At some point, I'll probably reach out if you have any recommendations. I'll still go look out, obviously, by myself, but
do your research, especially follow them on Instagram, on social media, see what they are doing. Pick the right instructor. That is the most important thing, I would say, in tech diving.
For us, we were lucky to have Klaus, huh?
That one is many years in the making, bro. It's not like that.
Training you did with Klaus, you did with Achilles, right? Was the other guy you did it with?
Yeah.
Have you been cave diving with him? No.
Why? What's with the question?
No, because it's I remember you guys did it it's three of you, right? And then I remember your Bhutan dive trip was two of you. And I was like, you did it with three, and then
so
you go with two.
Late last year, Adam went with another colleague of ours. Yeah. He went to do his cave course. I wanted to go, but I just did not have a chance. It didn't materialize for me. We said to ourselves that we need to do one cave dive trip at least a year.
I'm thinking about doing 2 this year, bro.
Want to do 2 this year?
One at Surabaya.
Oh, yeah, okay. Surabaya one is going to be in May.
Surabaya one is easy. Just one flight, 2 hours, get there, dive few days.
Surabaya is in May.
John, are you interested?
Yeah, I won't say no. I mean, it depends.
But we can go there because I want to also have a look at the cave system. May is quite okay lah. If we do it in May, and then we can do the Sulawesi one in November, December, we still can do it, right? If it's too close, then it's also a little bit taxing lah. August, we're going for Bali trip also already for the Mola Mola.
When Dicky said texting, we're talking about our wallet.
That's fair,
It's very expensive to go for cave diving. It's usually a 5-digit kind of story.
Definitely much more expensive, cave diving trips compared to wreck trips, you would say.
Depends on the location. I think
both
they might be
you need to fly out. But for cave, depends on the cave. In terms of logistics, how far in you want to go. If you want to go deep in the jungle kind of cave, then it's going to be even more costly because of all of that camping, logistics, porters and stuff like that. In many cases for cave diving, just for the two of us to be able to go diving, we need 6 people.
To look after us.
Yeah.
Four.
So if it gets deeper, inner, more things to look into, then we need more people. So then
things add up.
the more people we need to take care of us, then the more expensive it will be.
Fair.
Well, logistically speaking, I think wreck diving will be a bit cheaper.
In
There are a lot of people doing wrecks, right? And then boats are going in and out all the time. So cave diving is more personalized thing. And there's less people doing it. The number's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we end this podcast, right, I just want to put it out there. Vicky, do you want to go mine diving with me?
I've been thinking about mine diving. See, the thing is, I guess it's because not knowing what mine diving is. I've never gave myself the chance to do research about mine diving. From just looking at the dives, from knowing a little bit about mine system, dry mine system, I am somewhat not comfortable going for mine diving. However, we have had how many mines now already discovered
in Malaysia? I have no idea, man.
There's quite a few. So and there's so many dives that have been done in this cave already. I'm starting to have some courage to consider doing the crossover.
Or at least just do the crossover first, then decide whether you want to do mine or not. At least you get to know the place, you get to know what mine diving is all about, right? Give it a chance. Then only you can think about whether you want to do mine diving or not. What do you think about mine diving?
You bring it up now, it's a good thing because it's like wreck is like things that were built by humans and then it's
Man-made.
sank, right? Yeah, man-made. And then caves are like natural formation. It could be sort of like a really good blend of both things where humans sort of made this thing they carve out a piece of nature and then now it's like some of the equipment left behind and I think the environment is very different because like caves, like there's a lot of like places where you tie off because there's like a lot of jagged rocks sticking out. Mines can be like quite slick and very different.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Mines are actually more prone to cave in than cave itself. Because cave has been formed thousands of years, so the structures are actually more sturdy. But mine is man-made. Everything goes right. You don't know what's going on. Maybe that's one thing that is scary about mine diving.
Cave diving is already very, very dangerous. And mine diving is at least 10 times more dangerous than
I would say
cave
10
diving.
times.
So, well, that's what it's been said, right? So we'll see.
So,
We'll
Sean-
see until I have the courage, and we'll see how. Why are you looking at doing the crossover anytime soon?
I'm looking at it. Actually, I would like to do it as soon as possible. But then again, I think I need a dry suit for that. Because mines are usually colder in compared to cave. So in order to be comfortable in a mine, I reckon it's dry suit territory. That is one hurdle that I need to cross before getting into mine.
The idea that I have back in my mind is to venture more into cave system, trying to go into the possibility of going into deeper caves and maybe diving with the reader in a cave, as opposed to
Wow.
doing mine. That's what I have in mind, but we'll see. We don't know.
You see, even both of us are diving together, we have different goals also. So eventually we need to do our own thing as well sometimes, you know. So Sean, thank you so much for coming today, having the pleasure to give us the opportunity to talk about technical diving.
yeah, thanks. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's been like a real honor to like be on. Actually, also like I just want to give like a shout out to you guys. It's like as I mentioned, there's a lot of technical and just general diving content out on social media, but I think for Malaysia there's not that much. So actually when I found out that you had a podcast and like watching all the episodes, it's just like really like cool to finally see like how is it doing dive trips here or like what is diving like you know, for people based in Malaysia. So I think it's really great the stuff that you guys are doing here.
Okay.
And I hope you like the channel gets bigger and the podcast gets
Thank
bigger.
you.
and,
Thank
yeah,
you. We surely hope so as
Thank you
well.
so
we
much.
can dive together soon.
Well, definitely.
Yeah, one of these days we should dive together
Can.
with Sean, and then we definitely know whether he's tech ready or not.
So if you have time, if you think that you want to come and dive with us, and any of our listeners and viewers out there, if you are keen to get to know us in person or maybe dive with us, and we will be in Tiumen, just reach out to us and we'll make it happen. Thank you again, Sean, for being here, making the trip to our studio. We hope that the relationship goes beyond this, where we get to dive together and maybe hopefully do cave diving
diving.
together.
As I probably like try to catch up and then we can probably get like into the cave or something.
You're definitely able to catch up with us for sure. Take your time.
Yeah.
When it comes to tech diving, don't go from course to course. Take your time.
No rush.
For sure.
So the next time when you become a certified tech diver, we would like to invite you back here to talk about your experience.
Yes.
This time, instead of both of me, Dicky talking, it will be you talking about your experience with tech diving.
Yeah, I'd definitely be happy to.
We are looking forward to that, yeah? To those of you listening, thank you so much for watching to the end of this podcast.
This is just the surface about tech diving. If you have any more questions about tech diving, if you want to know other topics about tech diving that we have not covered, just reach out to us. And
Even recreational diving,
also,
you can ask us.
recreational diving.
We'll try our best to answer all of them. Or if you guys are interested to come into our podcast to talk about this, like what Sean is doing right now, feel free to contact us and we will set up a session with you.
We may not know everything. If there's something that we need to reach out to a better presenter, we will reach out to them and maybe we can have them in the podcast and cover
That
all
would
the
be
topics
awesome.
for you guys. All I would like to say is
Like, comment, subscribe.
thank you and keep watching and please help us spread the podcast. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sean.
We'll see you in our next episode. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.